Just to let you know, I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes so we know that, doesn't mean we have to stop right there, but we just know that we need to start wrapping up and I can answer any questions so we don't run out of time. I'm just going to go ahead and set that on my phone.
Okay.
But again, if it goes off and you're still talking about something, we can absolutely cover that. All right, Cooper, you want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name's Cooper Sampson, and I'm coming here today just to talk about healthy eating. I feel like I've been having problems getting on track, trying to hit my weight goals and all that, and I'm hoping this could help me.
Okay. You want to tell me a little bit more about maybe what your day-to-day lifestyle habits look like, and we can talk about those?
Well, usually I wake up around 6 for work. I'm pretty good on breakfast because I'm usually able to make either like a quick egg and toast or maybe a yogurt with some fruit. And then I get to work and I have a really bad habit not making a lunch ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I usually end up eating, best case, eating at a restaurant or takeout. Worst case, going to a gas station and having to figure out what, I can tolerate there. And then when I get home from work, I usually try to keep maybe one snack for dinner, and usually dinner is pretty okay too. The problem I'm really having at the end of the day is also just feeling full, because I'll get home, I'll have dinner, and then for some reason I'm just constantly feeling that didn't fill me up enough. I need to eat more, and that's usually where I kind of really gouge and overeat.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a handle on your breakfast and dinners because you have a little bit more time to prepare those, because the time you get home and when you leave for work, it sounds like you have a little bit of issues thinking or prepping ahead for lunch. We can absolutely talk about that if you want to, but it also sounds like you maybe need some help, or you would like some help with balancing how much you're eating, and maybe not eating as much at night so you don't feel as full when you go to bed. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me a little bit more about what your lunches look like? What kind of, besides what do you usually have for lunch if you eat out somewhere?
That usually depends on place and time. It's usually whatever's the closest.
Okay.
So some days might be going to a Chipotle and just getting a burrito bowl. Sometimes it's a taquerita and getting about 3 or 4 tacos. Okay. And then sometimes it's just fast food. So I'm getting Jack in the Box, McDonald's, whoever's closest to me. So it's very varying depending on where I'm working that day.
Okay. It sounds like, depending on the day, the type of food you eat changes. Would you mind if I, maybe offer you some information?
Sure.
Does it sound like you were wanting to, do some meal planning in this session today? Kind of figure out some tips and tricks to pack a lunch ahead of time? Does that sound like something you'd want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What does your evenings look like? I know you said you have dinner. How much time do you have to maybe prep ahead for lunch during the week?
Most of that time I would say is probably on the weekend.
Okay.
Would be the best time. It's just the problem is I'm so beat from the week that even if I have the time over the weekend, I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
So I do. Yes, I do have time. It's just I don't have really a very efficient system to just make it quickly and effortlessly during the weekend, and then having that all prepared for the week.
Right. It sounds like you want to make lunches during the weekend, but you're so tired from the week that you feel like you don't have time to do it. Correct. Okay. Maybe if we could find meals that are quick and easy to make, maybe that's something you could. Would you consider making your lunch on the weekends?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I have some resources online that I could send you. They're just kind of quick, easy meal plans. I also have papers. Would you like to go over some of the paperwork? Okay.
Of course.
So when planning meals ahead, what's something that you usually like to eat at a restaurant that you can maybe meal prep that's quick and easy, you think?
Well, I usually like I said, I usually like Chipotle because that's usually a place I can really make sure I'm eating what I need to. So I like, of course, I can get any like kind of protein I want, and then I have to have like rice or and like beans, and putting vegetables, and then putting probably like just a salsa on that. I tend to stay away from guac because I know that's probably a little too much calories for me. But I think Chipotle is the one where I feel like I have the most control over my eating.
Okay. So it sounds like a burrito bowl might be a convenient way for you to meal prep ahead of time. Does that sound right? Okay. So we can talk about that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What is your budget? I want to make sure I'm, finding a meal plan that works for you. How much do you think you'd like to, or are you willing to spend on your lunch weekly, you think?
Weekly, see, I mean, I spend probably maybe $60 on lunch every week, but it's also like probably around 100 at the grocery store. So if we could like keep it, maybe split it to like $130. Oh, excuse me. Probably like 60 to 100.
Yeah.
Like including on my total like meal plan is probably the best.
Okay. Well, there's great options, and I know you said earlier you want to prioritize convenience as well as healthy options. There's a lot of great convenient options that like grocery stores like Safeway have, where they're affordable. There's stuff like microwavable rice that you can do ahead of time and portion them out in containers. There's pre-made chicken breast that's already grilled for you, and you just have to portion out. And frozen veggies are always a great option. Does that sound like something you'd be willing to try, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I remember you told me earlier. You said that you've been feeling full a lot more, like in the evening.
Oh, excuse me. I meant that I don't feel full after dinner during the evening.
Thank you for correcting me. Sorry. So you're wanting to look maybe also into some snack options to kind of help you keep full longer, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Could I provide you some information on kind of some tips I've provided to people on ways to feel full while not, eating as many nutrient-dense foods or calorie-dense foods?
Sure.
Not nutrient-dense. I meant to say calorie-dense. So foods are made up of 3 components. There's fats, there's carbohydrates, and proteins. Is that something you're familiar with?
Yes.
Okay. So out of those 3, proteins, so foods that are high in protein, like, or are mostly protein, like chicken, beef, red meat, fish, cheeses, dairy products, help us keep full longer because it takes our bodies a little bit longer to digest. So if we're gonna choose snacks, we might want to choose snacks that are higher in protein. Does that make sense?
Well, I think cheese would be a great option. The problem is I'm actually quite lactose intolerant, so I can't really process cheese that much.
That's very common. Maybe would you ever consider having like a lactate before you have the dairy product, or maybe we can find would you be willing to find another snack that works for you that is high in protein, still satisfies your hunger?
Well, I was thinking about your opinion about those. I forgot the brand name, but it's that like milk brand that has lactose-free milk.
Oh, Lactate?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant the Lactate supplement that you take before eating the cheese. I don't think Lactate makes cheese, but that's a great question. I'm not super familiar with that, but I can absolutely I can look it up after our session and email you the information.
Okay.
But would you be willing to maybe take a Lactate supplement before you have cheese, and so you can still enjoy it without maybe the discomfort? Or would you want to maybe look into some other snack options?
Probably other snack options.
Okay. What are some snacks that you tend to gravitate towards now, so I can get an idea of what your preferences are?
A lot of bagged popcorn, kettle chips, and maybe beef jerky, but I don't really buy that as much often because it's kind of expensive for me.
Okay, so it sounds like you like the savory type of snacks, but you also prioritize convenience. Does that sound right?
Yes.
So having stuff that's already made. There's a great brand that can I offer you some information?
Sure.
Okay. There's some great options. I enjoy Chomps. I've recommended them to all my clients. They're just a convenient snack similar to beef jerky. They are on the cheaper end, I think, but if you find that we can always look them up. If you find that if they're out of your budget, we can find other options as well. Another great option for snacking is like hard-boiled eggs. I also recommended to my clients to try cottage cheese. I know that kind of seems like it contradicts your earlier statement about being lactose intolerant, but in general, people with lactose intolerance tend to be able to tolerate cottage cheese because the lactose content is a little bit lower and it might be easier on your stomach. Same with Greek yogurt. Do those all sound like snacks you'd be willing to try?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So after we've discussed all this, do you have any other questions so far? I feel like I want to check in with you, make sure you're understanding or I'm following what you're.
What was the medication again?
Oh, Lactate.
Lactate. If I'd choose to take that, is that like an all day thing or is that like a pre-meal? Like I would take it before a meal.
Yeah, that's a great question. That's it's before you eat the dairy product. So I believe it's like with the first bite of the dairy product, you take the supplement, and it's really just with products that are high in dairy. So if you're eating like pizza with cheese, you'd want to take the lactate supplement. But if it's like a bread product that the dairy's baked into it, you might be able to tolerate that. But it's really person to person. But yeah, it's with the first bite of the dairy product.
And is that over the counter or behind the counter?
It is over the counter.
Okay. I'll try it out. I feel like I already have a hard time keeping up with the medications I already have.
Okay.
So I might not remember it. Not necessarily to take it before I eat cheese, but to bring it with me to work and going out and stuff. So I just find it more easier just to avoid cheese.
Okay, so it sounds like you'd rather, for the convenience of it, maybe avoid dairy products, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about your lifestyle? I see here you're a plumber, and that keeps you very active. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about some activities you do outside of work?
Nothing much. I usually, again, I have problems like keeping energy up after work or during the weekend. So I tend to only really just go on walks maybe after work. I do have a gym membership, but I haven't been there in probably like 3 months. So I've been kind of just on the slow end of just not doing as much outside of work.
Okay. It sounds like you want to be active, and your work keeps you very active when you're working, but your energy after work takes a dip. Correct. Okay. What are some activities that you would like to do if you had the time?
Definitely going to the gym. That's something I want to do more, and especially since I have the membership, I want to make most use of it instead of like paying it off every month and not going.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about some activities you like to do inside the gym.
I like doing the elliptical or the bike. I really like lifting, and especially something I want to get back into during the summer is maybe doing some swimming.
Okay, nice. So it sounds like you have an idea of some activities you like to do. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about your feelings on a scale of like, I guess, 1 to 10, 1 being that you don't want to try the gym again at all, and 10 being like you're ready to go? Where do you think you fall on that scale?
Probably like a 4, I would say. So I'm like, I'm really wanting to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I have the time to go, I usually just don't.
Okay. So you said you're a 4, and that's because you want to go. That you want to go, but you just don't find that you have the time. What can maybe take you from a 4 to a 6?
Probably say probably maybe doing it like first thing in the morning, so waking up a bit earlier and just going. And I've been thinking about trying to make it be more of an errand than like a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Like thinking about it as it's something that, you know, I might not want to do that day, or I really want to do that day. No matter how I feel about it, I just have to do it. Like it's a chore, like that.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like if you were to go, you would prioritize it as like an errand, like you said, and going before work. What are your thoughts on maybe trying going to the gym? How many times a week do you think you'd like to go?
Probably I could probably go 3 times a week, because my class for plumbing, my apprenticeship, takes up my Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
So I can find time during the week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay. I guess maybe by our next session, when I follow up with you, we can maybe revisit how many times you've been going to the gym and adjust from there. But maybe how do you feel about trying going to the gym 3 times a week and seeing how that goes?
I could probably do it. I'll try maybe slowly go into it, maybe trying having the goal of going like 1 time next week.
Okay.
And trying to build up to that 3.
Yeah.
And just it kind of eased me into it.
That's perfect. I'm sorry I didn't suggest that. I should have asked you a little bit more about what your feelings are about that. So you want to start going by once and just kind of ramping it up slowly to 3 times a week.
Yes.
Okay. Well, absolutely. That sounds like a great plan. When we, at the end of the session, I'll write it down. I think it's helpful to leave the session with something tangible that you can look back on and see what we discussed, and remind yourself of your plan for the next time we meet and discuss.
Okay.
So we went over, is there anything else that you'd like to discuss that, you know, we haven't, maybe I didn't cover enough or didn't bring up as much as you'd like? I just want to make sure I'm covering everything. Or if you have any questions.
Maybe like what should be my target calorie goal?
Yeah.
Because most of the information I got for that is off the internet.
Okay.
So what I kind of learned is taking your I think it's total daily energy expenditure,
Mm-hmm.
and then calculating that by body weight, and then taking whatever your target goal on the calculator online is. You take off like about 500 to 700 calories off of that,
Mm-hmm.
and that should maintain you to like a 1 pound, 1.5 pound weight loss per week.
Sounds like you've done your own research on weight loss, and it sounds like you want to maybe talk a little bit more about weight loss that I didn't cover earlier. It sounds like you've got a great start. So I'm going to pull up that resource and we'll calculate it. It's essentially what I would do as well in our sessions. I'm just going to pull it up for you if you feel comfortable sharing. I'm going to have you fill it out for me, okay?
All right.
And we'll go from there.
Here you go.
Okay. So with the information you provided, it looks like your goal, your total energy expenditure for the day is 3,693 calories. That includes, do you mind if I provide you some information?
Sure.
Okay. It looks like, so that includes your basal rate, so how much your body just burns living. And then on top of that, we add how much energy you expend through activity. So like you said earlier, you're a plumber, you're very active at your job, so your total TDEE is the energy that you burn just by being a human, and then the energy on top of that is what you burn through activity. So it looks like to maintain, that's your maintenance. So if you're eating 3,600 calories a day, that's going to keep you at the same weight. So you're eating as much as you're burning.
Okay.
Is that making sense?
Yes.
Do you have any questions so far?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And then it sounds like you want to lose some weight, so we want to decrease the amount of calories that we're eating by a small amount while maintaining either the same activity or increasing it slightly to lose weight. So in general, I recommend that people cut 500 calories, which is like you said, just to start, and we can go from there. So that will bring you to around 3,100 calories per day.
Okay.
It sounds like you've done this research before. Can you tell me a little bit more about, have you tried tracking your calories while you've eaten of what you've eaten during the day?
Yes. I find it's pretty hard, like with my situation, since I'm not preparing meals beforehand, that I'm having to like go to all these places and then trying to figure out, like maybe on their website or an app, what like how much calories my food has. And then the second thing I'm finding a problem with is most information on the internet is you're wanting to eat about around 1 gram of protein per body weight. And I'm finding at my current body weight, that's just taking up like half, even more of my diet of just like protein.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're having trouble calculating or keeping track of your calories because of, what we talked about earlier. You eat out and you can't keep track because different places have different information, or it's impossible to track down, and you're finding that the amount of protein that the website's telling you to eat is too much, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can I provide you with some information?
Sure.
So in general, for healthy eating, it's depending on your activity level, we could adjust your protein goals. But in general, of your total caloric intake for the day, the amount of protein you eat should be around like 35 to 45% of your total calories for the day. Would you mind if I showed you how to calculate that?
Sure.
So we're gonna do it. I'll do it on our paper. So, would you like to do it I should ask for your maintenance or your when you're cutting calories?
Probably cutting.
Okay. So your cutting is, let me make sure. We're gonna round to 32. And we're gonna we'll do the higher end and multiply by 45%. So it's your total calories, and 45% of your total calories should be the grams of protein. Oh, that's calories from protein, I'm sorry. So that should be the amount of calories from protein. To get the amount of protein, we're gonna multiply this or divide it by 9 or 4. Oops. I might do this one. Okay. I feel like I'm doing that incorrectly. I should know this, but I might have forgot. Oh no, oh, okay. I'm about right. So this is around. So 360 grams of protein is a lot.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what you put into the maintenance portion of the activity level of your never mind. I'm sorry. I'm losing track of time or things. Okay, so 3,600, that's a lot. You feel like that's a lot, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That's just because you're active. So if you're finding that trouble to hit that protein goal for the day, what we can do is maybe look into some supplements. Is that something you've considered doing?
Yeah, I haven't done it for my said reason. It's too much, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll usually try to buy like a whey protein powder,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm finding that I'm doing around. I'm trying to add a scoop of that with a scooper is around 24 grams of protein
Mm-hmm.
for my brand, and I'm usually having to do like 6 to 8 scoops a day to like just hit that protein goal, and that's outside of food. That's on top of what I'm eating.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Yeah.
And it's either just really inconvenient for me, or I'm having even like bowel issues with like just that much protein.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like the increase in protein's causing it's hard to do because it's not as convenient to remember, and it's causing you some bowel issues.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about your bowel issues. Is that because you said it's because of the protein?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about that, please. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it just got to the point where like that's why I just stopped doing the protein powder, because I'm finding with that goal, I was just like drinking so much, it was causing like diarrhea. So I just stopped doing it, and I've saw that my basically the bowel issue from that just resolved itself by stopped doing it. So it's something that I just kind of want probably to avoid.
Probably to avoid. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we should still prioritize protein, but maybe not prioritize it as much, just to decrease the bowel issues that you've been having. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna look at something really quick. Do you mind if I provide you with some more information?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So with your bowel issue, are you finding that you're having issues with diarrhea, correct?
Yes.
Have you ever considered trying a fiber supplement or something to maybe?
Yeah, I think I do have Metamucil at home.
Okay.
So I think probably just start trying to do it in the morning every day. I feel like that should try to help that if I get back on the protein powder.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like if we want to increase our protein, maybe we should look at some other options to relieve the stress on your bowels and maybe help you regulate your bowel movements as well.
Sure.
Okay. I can send you some information after the session on adding fiber to your diet. Do you mind if I provide you with some information?
Sure.
Okay. In general, people want to get around 30 grams, or males want to get around 30 grams of fiber a day. And fiber comes from there's soluble fiber and insoluble fiber, but in general they come from whole grains, leafy greens, veggies, and fruit. Does that sound like something you would be willing to add to your diet to maybe supplement what's been going on?
Sure.
Okay. All right. And then, do you have any questions about stuff that we've gone over that you maybe didn't cover as well, or something that we'd want to call back on?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay. So today we discussed, I'm just going to summarize what we went over. We discussed potential meal planning ideas. We discussed snack options that will maybe help you feel full a little bit longer in the evening when you get home from work. We discussed some potential schedule for you to try going to the gym more often. We said we're going to start going once
Yes.
a week and slowly increase it. And then we discussed some adding protein to our diet, and then maybe with that increasing fiber, just to kind of help relieve some bowel issues.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me before, or anything you want to discuss before we go?
Probably not really.
No? Okay. So maybe let's write down your goals, and then we can discuss those the next time we come back.
Alright.
So we want to increase activity 1 to 3 times per week. Increase, meal prep on weekends. That's our timer. We still have a little bit more time. And then we want to increase protein and fiber and focus on high protein snacks. Okay.
Right.
This is for you to take. I'll send you an email after the session, and we'll schedule a follow-up date, just to kind of for me to check in on you and see how you've been doing, and maybe adjust our goals, just if you're finding success in them, or if we want to change our goals to kind of better adapt to you. Yeah, very nice to meet you, Cooper.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks.
Thank you.